Hello, welcome to my classroom, my virtual classroom. I'm Mrs. Coffey, and I am teaching history here at MyFunScience this year for the first year that MyFunScience has offered history. I would just like to welcome you into my classroom and tell you a little bit about my philosophy of teaching history. I know a lot of times people think that they can just read a good book or maybe just read some stories about history and that's sufficient, but I beg to differ just a little bit, and I'll explain why. I feel like that history is one of our most important subjects. Math and English and science are probably the top, but I feel like history is right up there with those subjects as well. I feel like history gives us a sense of who we are and where we're going. I teach history from a Christian worldview, from a biblical worldview, and I feel like it gives us a sense of belonging and a sense of our future and what God has in store for our future. One of my favorite Bible verses that refers to history is found in Romans 15:4. For whatever was written in former days was written for our instruction, that through endurance and through encouragement of the scriptures we might have hope. And I feel like that refers to things that were written before concerning history. Another one that I like to use and share with my students throughout the year is Psalm 78, verses 3-4, which states, "Things that we have heard and known, that our fathers have told us, we will not hide them from their children, but tell to the coming generation the glorious deeds of the Lord and his might, and the wonders that he has done." And I feel like that's a mandate for us to pass on to our children our story and the story of the world. I currently teach U.S. history and world geography, as well as American government for MyFunScience. And I love all of 4 of those subjects. They're just all very dear to me in different ways. I feel like our world history tells us where our world comes from. We begin with creation and the beginning of time, and we use the Bible as our very beginning, our very first textbook, because that's one of the most reliable sources for early ancient history. So we begin right there at creation. I love for my students to use timelines, and we compare throughout history. Maybe at the same time that ancient Egypt was happening, things were happening in China, things were happening in India. When Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt, there were things happening in other parts of the world at the same time. It's not just little cubicles of time. It's a whole story that God has woven throughout time. So in world history, we cover from creation to current events. In U.S. history, we cover from the explorers, Leif Erikson in 1000 AD, who first came and discovered the North American continent, to current events as well. In world geography, we study each continent and we learn the cultures and the geography of each continent. It's my goal for students in world geography to be able to identify all the places of the world and the different cultures of the world, just in case they might be called to be a missionary or a minister someday, or maybe they might be an ambassador to one of our embassies in a foreign land, and they need to know the geography and the culture of our world. In world geography, we have a lot of fun. We do cooking of cultural foods from around the world. We have a lot of fun with that. We take little tours virtually around the world, and we have various visitors come throughout the year from other cultures or people who have traveled to other cultures. And so it's a lot of fun. World geography is a lot of fun. In American government, I do feel like our students need to know about our government and its workings. I feel like they need to be good citizens. So civics are also covered in our American government. We study the Constitution. We study each branch of the government and what their purpose is and what they do. And we also have a lot of fun with that class too. So I invite you to come and join me in history. I try to instill a love for history in my students and a love for God's world and the story of our world. So I hope you can come and join me. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.